Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the interviews. Uruguay won Group A like we expected them to, but now it's set off a date with Portugal. Can they beat Portugal? How can they beat Portugal? Can they do it without Gimenez? Do they need Suarez and Cavani firing? Don't worry, here at the interviews, we've got you covered. So on this edition of the interviews, I'm going to break down 3 talking points that can help Uruguay beat Portugal. Prior to the World Cup, Uruguay were expected to win Group A with relative ease. They were able to do that, and now they have a date with European champions Portugal. Portugal, Uruguay, both kind of cut from the same cloth. Defensively organized, hard-working midfield, and reliable goal scorers up front. Cavani, Suarez, Ronaldo on the other side. This has all the ingredients to be a cagey but memorable round of 16 clash at the World Cup. So when we do break it down, Uruguay, how are they going to get past this Portuguese side? They have shown that they are not an easy team to beat. Ask Spain at the World Cup, it wasn't easy for them. They have a guy in Ronaldo who could win big games, but they also have a great base, and Uruguay will have to find a way to get past it. Here, we're going to break down 3 points as to how they can do that. Number 1, we have to start with the health of Gimenez. Gimenez and Godin arguably represent the best center back pairing in the tournament, besides Thiago Silva and Miranda for Brazil. And if Gimenez is out, there are some issues there for Uruguay. Defending is an art, it's collective. Yes, we know that, but Sebastian Coates can be a liability. He does have the tendency to make mistakes, and Ronaldo will target him. Godin, Gimenez have a great understanding. They play together at the club level for arguably the best defensive side in Europe in Atletico Madrid. And Portugal will hope that Coates plays instead of Gimenez. If Gimenez is there, you got to give Uruguay a great chance of keeping another clean sheet. They haven't conceded a goal at this tournament. And if he's not, then obviously their chances do decrease. But you have to look at it this way. If he does play, he needs to be 100%. Because if he is, then they have a good shot. If he's not, it still puts Uruguay in a tough position because they're taking a big risk, but they need him at the back if they're going to be successful in this tournament, and more specifically against Portugal. Number 2, who plays in the wide areas? We've seen Di Rocheta and Nandez playing in wide areas, then cutting in to be additional midfielders. We've seen Roldan and Rodriguez be more direct options. We've seen Laxalt come in and also play in a role as a wingback. So there are a lot of options that Uruguay could turn to. Obviously, we think they're going to be more of a 4-4-2. They did try out a 4-3-1-2 with Bentancur a bit forward in their final game against Russia. I don't think they're going to do that here. The great thing about this Uruguay side, they were reactive during Tabarez's initial spell, building up to now. They're a team that has been known for being defensively organized, being gritty, getting goals off set pieces through Godin, Gimenez, Suarez, Cavani, but now they have a different element to them. They can play proactive football, possession-based football, hold the ball, create chances. Here, we expect them to be a bit more direct, a bit more gritty, making sure that they don't concede any space between the lines, making sure that the Portuguese midfielders don't get time on the ball. This may be the opportunity for for Sanchez and for Rodriguez to play in those wide areas. Who plays at fullback? Caceres is obviously going to get the nod, but Laxalt has done really good in a wider position, and they could throw him into the mix as well. And that's how it looks. It's going to look like it's going to be with Vecino and Bentancur sitting a bit deeper in front of the center backs. And if they could do that, and especially have Cavani and Suarez dropping in, looking to press William Carvalho and perhaps Joao Moutinho or Adrian, who are going to look to dictate the play from deep, then Uruguay have a great chance defensively, and I think that's how they are going to line up. More direct. If they need additional midfielders, they can bring on Di Rocheta or Nandez for creativity later on in the game, but I think they're going to be safe. They're going to stick to what they know best and try to win the game in different aspects of it and try to nick a goal. The third and final point here is keeping Luis Suarez on the field. Look, Suarez and Cavani are the main talking point for this team. They go as far as those guys go in terms of goal scoring. That's what you'd like to say. Like I said, they do get goal scoring from other options, specifically set pieces. Cavani and Suarez have scored goals in this tournament. They haven't been great. But when you look at Uruguay's record in these international tournaments, especially at the World Cup, they lose when Suarez isn't playing. 2010, he was suspended in the semifinal. Lost. Suspended in 2014, lost to Costa Rica. They need Luis Suarez there. He is the spearhead. He drags them forward. He's gritty. He's technically gifted. He could win you games on his own, just like Cavani can as well. They need both of them firing. Obviously, they need both of them to be better. They need goals from them, but Luis Suarez needs to be on the field. They cannot afford to lose him, whether it be to injury or for a very heated confrontation that leads to a red card. And it could happen. When you look at Suarez and Cavani up front, you have Pep and Fonte at the back. This Portuguese side is just as gritty, is just as fierce. They will be going at it, and it could get a bit cagey, and this could lead to different situations that happen on the field, and we do not want to see that. But for Uruguay's sake, if they could keep Suarez and Cavani on the field with that defensive base behind them, they have as good a chance as anyone to beat this Portuguese side. And if those two are firing as well, then Portugal could be in for a very long night. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Uruguay could win? If I didn't state any points that could lead to a win, how do you think they can win? Do you think they're going to lose? If so, why? Meet me in the comments below. Don't forget I upload videos every day, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And that was your daily dose of the interviews.